Hey there, fellow knowledge seekers. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating stories in modern military technology, a tale of innovation, determination, and an invisible shield that has saved countless lives. I'm talking about Israel's Iron Dome, a defense system that sounds like it belongs in a sci-fi movie, but is very much real. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let me take you on an incredible journey. Imagine this. You're sitting at home, having dinner with your family, when suddenly sirens start blaring. You have just seconds to reach safety. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's the reality that millions of people have faced. But today, there's an invisible guardian watching over them, a system so remarkable that even its creators were told it couldn't be done. Let's rewind to the 1990s. Israel faced a growing problem that seemed impossible to solve. Their enemies had discovered that sometimes the simplest weapons could be the most difficult to defend against. Hezbollah, operating from Lebanon, began launching rockets into northern Israeli cities. These weren't sophisticated missiles. Many were basically upgraded versions of World War II technology. But here's the thing about rocket attacks. They're like trying to stop a rainstorm with an umbrella. You might block some drops, but eventually something gets through. The traditional military response would be to strike back at the launch sites. But there was a catch. These rockets were often launched from civilian areas. Picture trying to stop someone throwing stones at your house, but they're throwing them from a crowded marketplace. You can't just throw stones back without risking innocent lives. This was the puzzle that kept military planners awake at night. How do you protect your citizens from a threat that could come at any time, from any direction, and disappear before you can respond? The answer would come from a man who refused to accept impossible as an answer. Enter Brigadier General Daniel Gold, a man whose story reads like a movie script. In the early 2000s, Gold had an idea that seemed crazy to almost everyone. What if we could create a system that could shoot down rockets in mid-air? Not just once in a while, but consistently, effectively, and affordably. Now, let me explain why this idea was considered so outlandish. Imagine trying to hit a bullet with another bullet, except both bullets are traveling at several times the speed of sound, and you have to calculate their trajectories while accounting for wind, weather, and the curvature of the Earth. Oh, and you have to make this calculation and execute the interception in less than a minute, sometimes in as little as 15 seconds. Sound impossible? That's exactly what most experts thought. Even the United States, a country that had put humans on the moon, thought this was too ambitious. Military experts said it couldn't be done. Politicians said it would cost too much. But Gold, he believed. In fact, he believed so strongly that he started the project without full official approval, risking his career on the conviction that this could save lives. Then came 2006, and suddenly everything changed. During the Second Lebanon War, approximately 4,000 rockets rained down on northern Israel over just 34 days. The human cost was devastating. 44 Israeli civilians lost their lives, over 200,000 people were forced to evacuate their homes, and more than 1 million spent days in bomb shelters. This wasn't just a military crisis, it was a humanitarian one. This tragic event did what Gold's arguments couldn't. It convinced the skeptics that something had to be done. In 2007, Rafael Advanced Defense Systems was chosen to develop what would become the Iron Dome. But here's where our story gets really interesting. Creating the Iron Dome wasn't just about building a better missile. It required 3 different systems working together in perfect harmony, like a high-tech orchestra where every millisecond counts. Let me break this down in a way that will blow your mind. First, you need eyes that can see everything. The radar system, developed by Elta Systems, is like having thousands of highly trained observers watching the skies 24/7, except these observers can see things human eyes never could. Imagine standing in a baseball stadium and being able to track every single popcorn kernel thrown by fans in real time, calculating their exact trajectories, speeds, and points of impact, all while dealing with wind, rain, and other environmental factors. Now imagine doing this for objects moving at several times the speed of sound. That's what the Iron Dome's radar system does continuously. But seeing the threat is only the first step. This is where the brain of the system comes in, the Battle Management and Control, BMC, created by M. Prest. Think of it as the world's fastest chess grandmaster, making life or death decisions in split seconds. When multiple rockets are detected, it has to instantly decide which ones will hit populated areas, which ones will fall harmlessly in empty fields, which threats need to be addressed first, how many interceptors should be launched. And finally, we have the Sword, the Tamir Interceptor missile. Each one is a technological marvel packed into a package about the size of a small telephone pole. These missiles don't just fly toward their targets, they think, they adapt, they maneuver. Each one contains advanced guidance systems, multiple targeting sensors, sophisticated electronic warfare equipment, and proximity fuse mechanisms, all working together to ensure a successful intercept. Let me walk you through what happens when a rocket is launched toward Israel. It's like watching a high-stakes ballet performed at the speed of sound. The moment a rocket launches, the radar picks it up. Within 1 or 2 seconds, the Battle Management System has calculated its trajectory, determined if it's a threat, and decided whether to engage. If the rocket will hit a populated area, the system springs into action. 3 to 4 seconds after launch, the optimal battery is selected and launch parameters are calculated. By second 5, the interceptor is launching. What happens next is nothing short of miraculous. The interceptor missile races toward its target, receiving continuous guidance updates, maneuvering through the air with incredible precision. The entire sequence from detection to interception typically takes less than 30 seconds. Now you might be thinking, this sounds expensive, and you'd be right. Each Tamir interceptor missile costs about $40,000, $50,000, while the rockets they're designed to intercept might cost less than $1,000 to produce. At first glance, this might seem like a losing proposition. But let's think about this differently. Imagine you have $1 million house. Would you spend $40,000 on a security system if you knew someone was actively trying to destroy it? Now multiply that by entire cities, add in the value of human lives, the cost of business disruption, the psychological impact on civilians, and suddenly that $40,000 starts to look like a bargain. The success of the Iron Dome has been nothing short of extraordinary. Since its deployment in 2011, it has achieved an interception rate of approximately 90%. That's like a goalkeeper who stops 9 out of every 10 shots, except these shots are moving at supersonic speeds and could destroy buildings. But numbers don't tell the whole story. The real impact can be seen in the lives of ordinary people. Cities that once lived in constant fear of rocket attacks can now function normally. Children can play outside. Businesses can operate. Life goes on, protected by an invisible shield that most people will never see, but whose effects they feel every day. The story of the Iron Dome isn't just about military technology. It's about human ingenuity and determination. It's about looking at an impossible problem and refusing to accept that it can't be solved. It's about the power of innovation to change lives. The system continues to evolve. Scientists and engineers are working on new capabilities, better detection of smaller threats like drones, extended range for both detection and interception, even the possibility of using directed energy weapons instead of missiles. They're developing versions that can be mounted on ships, protecting maritime assets and offshore installations. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about the Iron Dome is how it has changed the very nature of modern warfare. For the first time in history, we have a system that can reliably defend against short-range rockets and missiles. This isn't just a technological achievement, it's a humanitarian one. It proves that defense can be more powerful than offense, that protecting lives can be more effective than taking them. The success of the Iron Dome has generated interest worldwide. Several countries have expressed interest in acquiring similar systems. But more importantly, it has shown what's possible when we apply human ingenuity to seemingly impossible problems. As we look to the future, the lessons learned from the Iron Dome's development and deployment will undoubtedly influence the next generation of defense systems. Whether protecting civilians from rockets or defending against new types of aerial threats, the principles established by this revolutionary system will continue to shape military technology and doctrine for years to come. The Iron Dome stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the power of persistence in the face of skepticism. It reminds us that sometimes the most important innovations are the ones that save lives rather than take them. It shows us that with enough determination, even the impossible can become possible. And there you have it, friends. The incredible story of the Iron Dome, a system that changed the rules of modern warfare and saved countless lives in the process. It's a reminder that technology at its best isn't just about making things faster or more efficient. It's about making the world a little bit safer, a little bit better. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about the technology that's shaping our world. If you enjoyed this video, share it with someone who loves learning about amazing innovations. And let us know in the comments, what impossible problem would you like to solve? This is Channel Name, reminding you that the future is being invented every day, and sometimes the most remarkable inventions are the ones you never see. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep looking up. You never know what invisible shield might be protecting you.